What's good? Not really been a while since I've said I was gonna try to get videos on Tuesday, Thursday, so holding up pretty well so far. But kinda a lot has happened since I last recorded a video. Um, I'm gonna get right into it. I think the main things that I'm gonna talk about are obviously the playoffs. Excuse me. Mainly the playoffs and then draft. I don't, as a Pistons fan, pretty disappointed again. But hey, we move. But yeah, with the playoffs, uh, the playoffs. So when I last was on here, the Timberwolves and the Knicks were both up. We're both up 2-0. And now both of those series are tied. Just like that, I feel like the Nuggets was more. It was truly expected, in my opinion. I know they were on the road when they got those two. I just don't see how people really thought the defending champs were going to get swept. I'm sorry. It just wasn't happening in my eyes, and it didn't happen. But I was hyping because, Timberwolves were really looking really good. They were on a run. They were on a roll. But yet again, the Nuggets, they came back and they won 2 on the road. And if Cat don't show up, they gonna win in 6. I'm sorry. Ant is putting up crazy numbers, but like, what's the purpose if you gonna lose? Game 3, Ant didn't have the best game. He had 19, but it was like early 19, and he didn't score for the rest of the game because they got blew out that game. Like, they lost by 30. You think that the Nuggets losing by 30 or whatever it was, 26, whatever, in game 2 was bad? I think the Wolves losing by 32 on Friday was worse because I don't know. That was I wouldn't say it wasn't. It wasn't expected because they were on their home floor. They were just riding off a 2-0 win on the road. That's the thing. But yeah. That's why I said don't count out the defending champs. Never count out the defending champions in the NBA. Cause they just won the championship and people acting, oh, they about to get swept. Ant-Man is still going crazy, but Ant-Man really about to take them boys out. I remember posting something on my Instagram story. I was like, if they don't lock in, if the Nuggets don't lock in, they gonna end up getting swept. And they locked in and they won 2 on the road, 2 crucial games on the road actually, because it was not looking good for them. And yeah, man, that's a series. Pacers made it a series too, winning 2 at home. Halliburton, actually, when he's aggressive, we know what he can do when he's aggressive. When he's not a pass first, but a scoring first, looking to score. Is he gonna get his assist? But when he's looking to score, he's lethal. And we saw that in Game 3. I know Game 4, the Knicks had some injuries, but like, everybody loves to blame injuries, but when they're up, when they winning, oh, it's all right, we up. But when there's an injury, it's an injury. But if y'all were to win with that injury, it's like, man, we didn't even got our guys. It's so weird. That's how NBA fan bases are. But yeah, man, that series is interesting because with those injuries, like I said something about OG getting injured in game 2. I said that was gonna hurt them tremendously, and then Thibodeau, Tibbs, he's the reason they get injured. I'm sorry, he plays them for 48 minutes, like they don't get breathers. The Pacers are really 10 deep. People don't realize that about them. They got their starters. They got Halliburton. They got Hallie. They got Pascal. They got Obi. They got Miles Turner. They got Benedict Mather. Is Benedict even? I don't even know. I haven't heard much about him, but Neesmith, of course. They got. Yeah, I was thinking about Ben Mathurin. They got Jalen Smith. Yeah, Ben Mathurin's out. I think he got hurt. I remember. He got hurt in March. That's why I was like, I don't think he's playing because he got injured. But like Nembhard, T.J. McConnell, like they got a lot of young guys, and they're deep. Isaiah Jackson and them off the bench. Who else, bro? They got a deep. Like the Pacers are underrated because they have depth. People don't know that, and they have a mix between like their starters are Halliburton, Nembhard, Neesmith, Pascal, Siakam, Miles Turner, T.J. McConnell, Ben Shepherd, Obi Toppin, Isaiah Jackson, Jarris Walker, Jalen Smith. Like they got a Doug McDermott's off the bench too. They got a deep squad, but like a healthy Knicks team, I think healthy Knicks team is kind of beating them because they got. You think about a healthy Knicks team is Jay Brunson, Dante, Josh Hart, Julius, Mitch, Hartenstein. Who OG starts, of course. Bogdanovich, Alec Burks. Like that team is deep too, but they are hurt. Like Bogdanovich, I remember he's out for the season. He got hurt. He had 2 injuries though, and he was playing on them, so respect to him. But yeah, Pacers, they tied it up. They tied it up. Shout out Josh Hart too, because he's been playing like entire games. He's been playing entire games. Like he play 12 quarters without being subbed. Do the math on how many games that is. But yeah, they got spanked game 4 though. At one point they were down like 40. What was it, 40? Yeah, it was scary. Yo, they got McBride. They have a deep team. Precious. A healthy Knicks team is scary, but they just got to stay healthy, and that's hard because Tibbs don't like playing his. Well, I'm not gonna say he don't like playing his bench, but like, I feel like if they can get a backup point, they'll be straight. A true backup point. But yeah. And then the Mavs, bro. They had the 3-1 lead in their hands, but they couldn't make a free throw yesterday versus the Thunder. Shea went for 34, took over in the fourth. Did what he does best. Yeah, man, they shot 12. I think it was 12 for 23 from the line. The Mavs did, and they lost by 4. So make 17 of the 23, you win. Luka, make 1 free throw down the stretch, you win. But hey, it is what it is. I don't know how they sold that bag. Now they got to go back to OKC. I feel like that don't mean nothing because they got the experience. They can play on the road. But that series is interesting. Hey, shout out to PJ Washington, man. That guy is playing like a Kentucky product right now. That's all I gotta say. He's playing like a Kentucky product. Man, what's up with Kyrie? Kyrie had 9 points again. This not the last time they had 9 points. They won. But last night they needed more than that, and I don't know what's up with Kyrie right now. He's trying to be more of a playmaker. When we know him as a bucket getter, he's been a better defender, but I don't like the playmaker Kyrie. That's for Luka to do, especially when you're known to score, and like you're the two guard, get buckets. Luka had a triple double, but he only had 18 points. Like these boys getting strapped. But I don't really know who I have winning that series after last night. Personally, I want to see Mavs because I want to see the Mavs. I think the Mavs are going to win, but it's going to be a 7-game, maybe 6, but it could have been 5. But the Mavs, they dropped the ball and lost. They got cooked. They didn't get cooked, but the Thunder capitalized on the opportunity to win, and they won it down the stretch. I don't know. Crazy to think about. And what else? The Cavs, they're down 3-1. They played well with no Donovan Mitchell. Let's look at the Cavs. I'm looking at the stats to see. They actually played really well. They lost by 7 last night. Tatum had 33. Jaylen Brown had 27. Drew Holiday had 16. Garland. Garland. People are like, he's washed. I feel like Garland. Remember when him and Colin Sexton were at backcourt? They both were thriving. But Donovan Mitchell is too ball dominant to be a shooting guard on that team, and that just throws him off. Because we know what he's capable of doing. He's an all-star caliber player. Well, it's kind of hard when you're not the ball dominant guy as the point guard. So he had a good game, but like when Donovan's there, it's different, and people think he's washed. But in my opinion, you just gotta have the ball in your hands to go crazy. And if Donovan Mitchell's the one with the ball in his hands the entire game, what can you do about it? But yeah, I think the Celtics are gonna finish it next game because I feel like they should have won it in 4, but they let off the gas and let Donovan Mitchell and the boys come back and kill them in game 2. They've done that these last 2 series though. Like first series versus the Heat, they lost 1. The Heat hit 23 threes that game, but still they lost to the Heat. And then they lost 1 at home. All these games they lose are at home. Game 2, and then they end up winning it in 5. But like, it's not like they didn't. They got cooked in game 2 as well. But yeah, I feel like them boys going to the chip, especially if the Pacers make the thing. If the Pacers make the Eastern Conference Finals, which I think they will, if the Knicks have their injuries of their guys. Yeah, and Celtics, I've been saying, Celtics, I feel like they win in the chip, but like, Nuggets might have something to say about that, in my opinion. Because, like I said, whoever wins this series between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves are going to the chip. And they're going to see the Celtics, in my opinion. But, yeah. Interesting playoffs. Especially, I'll talk about the Thunder. Because the Thunder are all young guys. The only people on that team with some playoff experience, Shea, Lou Dort, and like Gordon Hayward. And Hayward ain't even like, he's not even a factor off the bench. Like, he didn't even play last night, and I thought he was gonna come in and make an impact, but he hasn't really been doing anything for the Thunder. Even though he's a veteran presence, was what they need, but he hasn't really done much other than be a vet, be a presence, be a guy that knows what it feels like to be in the playoffs and make runs. But yeah, those young guys, I feel like the Thunder, this is their one run that they really needed as a team. And then they got a lottery pick, which is I'm like they got a lottery pick, and that makes zero sense as a 1 seed in the Pistons. That's what I want to talk about. The lottery. You know I'm salty. We lost 28 straight games, and we have the 5th pick. 3 years in a row, we get the 5th pick. But we're looking to get Matas Buzelis, who hopefully slips to 4. I'm thinking it's Alex Sarr, and then our guy Zach, or however you say his last name, the wing. He's a solid wing guy. Then at 3, probably Toppich. 4, Rob Dillingham. 5 is Booz Ellis to the Pistons. That's what I want. I want to see. We need a guy who can stretch the floor, can rebound, defend, athletic. That's what we need. Mainly stretch the floor, and he can score. So I was saying, like, I've been talking to a lot of kids. I posted something on my story, talk about how we can get Rob if he falls. Because if you really think about it, like, our guys, like our guards, like Cade, Ivy, they are both 2 guards at heart. Like, you see how they play. Obviously, Cade's going to get his assist because he's running the 1 and he has to facilitate. But, like, I feel like Cade could be a 1. He's a 1. He's a big 1. But I feel like he would be so much better playing the 2 guard if he didn't have to initiate the offense. If he could just get the ball and go. So that's how I was trying to like say, like, if we were to, or even a 3, we could run a 3 because Cade's 6'6", 6'7". Like, if Cade were to become our 3, because he's a big guard. Come on, Cade's a big guard. He's 6'6", so he could run the wing. And then, but at the same time, you got to think about, like, Cade was listed at 6'8" at draft day. Wow, I didn't know. He's a big guard. Like, he's a wing. Give him 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan. Like, but what I was saying is, like, depending on this draft pick, really, because, like, if we get Buzelis, then Cade's going to run the 1, obviously. If we were to go and get Isaiah Collier, that would be, because he's a true point guard. He's falling down because he got hurt. He's falling down draft boards. But he's the best pure point guard in the draft, in my opinion, unless you take Nikola Topic. But, like, Rob is a scoring guard. He's going to get his, of course. But I think we're going to take Buzelis, probably. Because Ron Holland, I don't know what happened to him. I thought he was a consensus first pick, but hey, things happen. He didn't play that much for G League Ignite either, so I don't think he played like when I'm saying he played like Ron Holland, very bro, he's like a raw prospect. Like, he doesn't do anything exceptionally well. He's a really good athlete. Like that. He's only 18. It's just crazy. I'm older than him. And he's about to go to the NBA. Wow. That's crazy. I'm older than him. And he's about to go to the league in a couple months. Well, next month. I'm trying to see how many games he played. He played 14 games. So that's not a bad sample size. Him averaging 20. Him and Buzelis played. They both played really well with G League Ignite. We saw Matas for sure improve on his defensive side of the ball. That was his thing. He's like a bigger, better Franz Wagner, in my opinion. Because, like, he's way, like... And Franz was a 2 guard in college, which is crazy to me. But I'm still mad we got the 5th pick. We should have got the 1st pick last year. Got Wembanyama, but the league ain't want to see Wemby go to Detroit. They ain't want to see it. They ain't want to see Kay Cunningham throwing lobs to Wemby. Jay and Ivy throwing lobs to Wemby. They ain't want to see that happen. I love Asar Thompson, by the way. Respect him. Our trades, though, made him fall out of the rotation. I just hope he's working on that jumper this offseason because he does everything else exceptionally well. He's a good passer, great defender, great rebounder, runs the floor. Like, he's like the perfect wing, minus the ability to shoot the three. I feel like if he gets that right, if he continues to work on his three, puts in the work, he will be solid for us. Double machine. All defensive team, because he's a guard. He can guard. Him and the man are like the same player, different position. But, yeah, I don't really have much else really to talk about. Truly, I'm just excited for playoffs being here. It's kind of sad to see that all of our guys that we grew up watching are out. Curry didn't make it this year. KD got swept. Brown lost in 5. PG, Kawhi lost to the Mavs. Kyrie's the only guy still standing, really. CP3 on the Warriors. Westbrook, Harden, they all off. They're not in the playoffs right now. LeBron, of course, I already said LeBron, AD, like all these bigs, like all these guys that we grew up watching, like that aren't in the playoffs. It just doesn't feel right because like I grew up watching Steph, Bron, KD, all be top 5 seeds for their entire career, basically. Now we got KD as a 6 seed who should have been in the play-in so they can make the second round, in my opinion. Brown was in the play-in. Steph was in the play-in and lost. Like, Harden and them, they got in with a 4 seed. Kyrie's still in, but he's not producing. Like, this just doesn't feel like real. Like, all the guys that we looked up to, all the guys that we model our games after, all the guys that we wanted to be like growing up. I'm not saying they're on a decline, but they just not winning anymore. There's just a new wave. Like, Jokic is leading the new wave. Him, Giannis, Embiid, like the bigs, really. Now Ant-Man is here. Like, Ant's going to be here to lead the wave, too, for the guards. Because Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid, they're bigs, and they was dominating. They still dominating. But Ant's really showing us. Ant's a guy that's showing us that he can hang with the best of the best, and he will for years to come. And I'm just glad that I'm going to be able to tell stories about these guys, man. Because, like, when you love the game, you love the players, you got to just be an objective fan, if you know what I mean. A lot of people are not objective fans of basketball. Like, you have to be objective, like, because, like, objective, you can't argue against, like, objectives, like, but subjective, of course, that's, like, your opinion, so subjective makes the game fun, though, like, your opinion matters, and we gonna argue, like, that's why I love basketball, because, like, everybody has a different opinion about who's the GOAT, who's the best in the league, the best team ever, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, man, that was a little rant about my take on the current status of the league. But I think that's all I got today. Just excited to see who wins the chip. Celtics, in my opinion. But I think it's time for Tatum and them to finally get one. Finally time for them to get over. And they're doing this with no Porzingis. So I think when Porzingis comes back, they walk. But the Nuggets are there. That'll be a good series. Or the Wolves. Thunder could very well, but I don't think they got it. Hey, come back to this clip when whoever wins the chip and be like, oh, Tanner. But, yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. I'm going to keep posting, get my views back up, because they've been down. But hey, consistency matters, quality and quantity, but the quality matters for sure, and the consistency, of course. So, got to get back consistent. The numbers will show eventually, of course. And I'm out. Peace.